greatest challenge actually is in the mind of the beholder. I don't see my work as a sequence of challenges. I actually feel that our work here has been very, very smooth, has transitioned from project to project. Didn't have, you know, when you say challenge, I always think of a big problem that you need to face, a big threat, etc. We never had that.
Yeah.
We actually moved very smoothly and very rapidly from where we were 7 years ago to where we are today. And you know, I always like the multipliers. Quintuple. I love the word quintuple.
I know. I didn't know if I was able to pronounce
I love it.
it.
I love the word quintuple.
Yeah.
So the fact that we have been able to do all this work without really giving the impression that we are in a crisis,
Right.
or that we are managing challenges, it's also important because it puts people at ease. The faculty, the students, my staff. You know, if they would think that I'm handling challenges, the one after the other,
Right,
I
right.
think they would actually be quite concerned. But it's not. There's no challenge there. It's just good plans. Good plans. You saw our 5-year strategic plan.
Yes, I did.
We know exactly where we are going, and we are creating a blueprint that we are following. I tell my staff that I put the strategic plan under my pillow every night. And I tell them to do the same. So through osmosis, we can just remember all the objectives that we have to meet and be judged on.
I see what you mean about challenge not being really your style because of the continuity of development here. But perhaps if I reword it and ask you what has been the most gratifying aspect of your time here, would you be able to answer that?
Yes, I would. The most gratifying times I had were times that we went outside the ordinary and we did something extraordinary. And that was taking over MCP Hanneman and turning it around in 3 years, and then integrating it into Drexel. That was extraordinary. That has never happened before in the United States. This was the largest bankruptcy of a non-for-profit in the healthcare arena. $1.5 billion bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So it was huge. And usually universities don't do things like that. And without consultants, by the way. We did it ourselves. Because I told my staff, if we cannot understand it and figure it out ourselves, we shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want to have others tell us how to do it. So this was an extraordinary event. And also the other one, I touched base a little bit earlier, was my thinking that universities like ours can actually run the business of smaller universities and improve not only the delivery of higher education, but also the economics of higher education. And so as a proof of my original 1997 thesis that I publicly said, and it was the Philadelphia Inquirer that published it, that small universities should seek partners who could optimize their management systems and reduce the unit cost for them as well as for the larger university. And then the first university that came into that category was actually Cabrini College. The president of Cabrini College is an incredibly satisfied customer. Dr. Ayadarola has the best things to say about Drexel University running her information systems from Drexel. And then, of course, Newman and Rosemont are in this partnership. And now we went out to Scranton, and Wilkes University is our partner. We are testing how far can we do this.
How far away?
How far away can we do this? And then I think next we're going to pick up a small college in Boston, probably, to test it even further away. But the fact is that we provide those colleges with systems that they could never afford at a price that is probably better than what they had before, And also because we are a university, we care for their academic environment so that we do that service within the realm of their academic enterprise in a way that no corporation could have done. So the result is that we lower the cost of our systems by spreading it over a larger number of students and larger number of institutions. And so this has been very gratifying. And then third, the fact that we just started 2 years ago a for-profit corporation, Drexel e-learning, that has now providing an umbrella for all our online offerings, all our online degrees. We offer master degrees in information systems, in engineering management, in MBA, nursing, and the fact that this corporation can bring together the marketing of our online programs, it makes it, it does something that no college could do by itself. I mean, the college can deliver, and still the colleges deliver, and those are degrees from Drexel, but they are online. The students will never step foot on our university. They can be in California, they can be somewhere else, and can get a master's degree or an MBA without ever stepping on our campus.
Right.
And this is something that we will have to face in the future of higher education, and again, the customer preference for the way that we deliver our product. Will it be classrooms always, and a blackboard or a whiteboard nowadays with a felt tip pen, or is it going to be a combination of online offerings and the typical classroom experience? I believe that the latter is going to be what we will have to face over the next 5 to 10 years, and Drexel is going to be at the forefront again. I call it at the leading edge, but
right.
not at the bleeding edge. Because as you probably know, there were quite a few universities who started efforts of this sort, and they actually folded.
And they went too far, perhaps, in that direction.
After losing millions and millions, including, I think, Cornell and Columbia and others. So we are very conservative. We take one step at a time. We think that our investment, a very modest investment, is going to bring great returns for us, and will also keep us at as I said, at the cutting edge of customer preferences. So we don't wake up one morning, years from now, and be surprised that our students are gone, and everyone wants to use the internet to learn. That would be devastating, right?
Right.
So you need to keep up with what your customer wants and change accordingly. And we have our eye on the ball. We follow very closely how higher education will evolve in the future, and we try to be with it.
Well, it sounds like a conservative, visionary approach to things. And I guess I want to ask you one last question, which relates to that, which is, what would you like to accomplish? Do you have a vision of something in particular, perhaps something more general, that you'd like to accomplish before you retire, which I hope is a very long time away?
I don't even think about retirement yet, of course.
No.
And if I think from now until the time that I think is regular retirement, it's too long of a time span. I think that my intention now is to execute our 5-year strategic plan that we just approved last fall. That plan brings the quality of our university from here to there. And that's, I think, what our task should be. We will grow somewhat, we will build more buildings, we will hire more faculty, but the focus and the pressure will be on building quality everywhere. And I think that this will serve our university great. You very well know that for the first time our university ranked on the top 100 top doctoral universities in the U.S. News and World Report rankings. And the importance of this is that in that list of 126 universities, it's not 100, it's 126 because of ties.
Oh.
Universities tie in certain.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are 126 in that category. We have only 6 universities in Pennsylvania, 2 in Philadelphia, Penn and Drexel now, and then for the rest of Pennsylvania, Penn State, University of Pittsburgh, Carnegie Mellon, and Lehigh. Now, we are in great company, in this group of universities. We are where we belong. But it took us some years to get there. And so now we are also on the top 100 in research holdings, in research expenditures. We are in the top 100 in the size of our endowment. So we are now starting to appear. I mean, we have 3,500 universities in the United States. Being on the top 100 is a good place to be.
Yeah.
And so we start being in the radar screen of many. Mm-hmm. And I believe that somehow that's how you break through, and then things precipitate. And I believe that we are at that particular point where we broke off from our past. Mm-hmm. We are a fairly different university than what we were 10 years ago, and I think that now we are playing in a different arena mm-hmm. with different peers and different competition. I think that this is a great thing for us, for Drexel to be happening, and I have enjoyed so much being president of the university that I try to moderate my enthusiasm, because if my board of trustees knew how enjoyable this is, they wouldn't even want to pay me.
That one. It's far enough from